Hello.
Hello.
Creating a product in Odoo can be a nightmare. Too many fields, too many paths, easy to get lost. In this talk, I'll show how a dynamic wizard can transform that jingle into a guide walk step by step, adapt to your business, ensure a faster onboarding and fewer mistakes. But before, let's introduce myself. I'm Pierre Verkest. I'm a freelancer. I love to explore Python and ecosystems. And in this talk, I get examples from my customers, Foodles, which is meal solutions that deploy smart fridge as accounting for companies, and they deliver food every day, fresh food. With we have a 6-week seasonal menu with a lot of rotation with 9 months per week. So the Odoo application is mainly used with stock, invoicing, purchase, sales, and the average of creating product from the beginning is about 100 product per month, but basically there's also some craps in the history. So now creating products in Foodles was a challenge because, as you can see, there's a lot of tabs and a lot of fields, custom fields, and become a nightmare. So the user experience with too many information, some fields are work here but in another tabs, or optional fields, or sometimes because you check an option, you have new tabs. It's not easy for a user to just navigate and set up the product properly. So it's make hard onboarding when a new user is coming to and want create product. Can be hard to explain what the product is going to behave according to the setting you are putting in that form. So it can be very time consuming to create the product properly and avoid data quality. And let's imagine you misconfigure your product with a bad unit of measure and start to receive your goods, and then you figure out that the unit of measure is wrong, so you want to maybe change the default unit of measure, but in Odoo, without some OCA module, you just can't change that unit of measure, so you have to archive your product, duplicate it, create it, or whatever, and do an inventory to just fix that. So operational lose a lot of time, and we have a lot of pressure on supply chain. So we question how we can simplify and help user to create product with a good quality. So we decide to think about an assistant that the user could answer step by step and get the user to create its product. So, for instance, the user could respond to the product name, and then we can ask him if it's a product or services, but with its language at the time. And let's do a demo of what it looks like for the end user. So I'm using the product informations management module, which is a PIM module. I lost my... Yes. And basically, I can launch my wizard, set my product name, and is it a surface or something that I can eat? So I can choose service and go to the next form, and it creates my product with the tags for services, for instance, and put the proper product type and so on. Oops. So each step can be configured according to your business need. So each step is like this question are configured like a tree. So each question will be a node of that tree. So we basically go over each steps, and so each step can be used to set one field, be a custom question that you will be able to conditional to run sub question according the answer of the previous questions. And logical groups mean to set a couple of values. So we have conditional paths. We can set default values, which means if in the different steps we haven't set a value, it's going to set that value. But if it's not already if it's already set, we won't change the value. We can use some custom view, but it's a bit technical. So let's see how my wizard was configured. So yeah, I've grouped by parents. So the program is running starting from not that as a parent. So and those questions are order. So it's going to start with the product name. So this is question type of field. So I'm setting that I want to set the field name. And answer is required to go to the next step. And the automatic feature here is to set the field with the default value. But here I want the user answer to that answer. And here I have no trillions. So I'm gonna next to the I'm gonna to run to the next step, which is about the service or product. So yeah, I can set the custom answer, possible answer, and set the default answers. And here I can define sub-questions, and this one will be execute only if the user answer to the service, the product is a service, and here I define a logical node. So when it's service, I'm gonna set the account, the income account, and define the type. And just for the example, I choose to create a sub question which is automatic, so we don't get it in the previous demo, where I set the customer tax. So what's feedbacks? Product owner could configure most of the wizard on their own after some few examples. The user appreciates the simplicity of the flow. For some complex case, it's still hard to define, to set default value in JSON format or use custom view. So sometimes it needs some help of developers. The configuration, I'm not in love with this kind of module where a lot of configuration go directly to Odoo, because you can't, it's like a new language, and you can't test what is configured. So it can be tedious to maintain, and but in some cases it helps. Whatever, we did it. And so there's some concern about the maintenance. If you remove a fields or add fields, you have to consider to update probably your wizard configurations. So in conclusion, we made this tool quite flexible. There are some technical complexity to be aware, sharing the responsibility with the functional people who set configure the wizard, and there are some maintenance risk in the long term. Thank you for listening. If you have any questions, so the module name is Product Creation Dynamic Wizard. There is an open pair in version 14. And we will probably migrate it soon to 17 version. Maybe waiting for the mic.
You have a mic?
Yeah, we try to. Okay, it's true. Okay. You're good.
Thanks for the presentation. So I've seen some values that actually appear like IDs, but I get they are computed on the fly. In the values, default values of values that you apply, like the income value, I've seen IDs, but that's probably just a display issue. How do you manage the relation? How do you manage the real value? When is the relation? You are code the ID, or you select it?
You code the ID, actually.
Ah, okay. I was hoping in the opposite answer. Okay.
Yeah. There are ways for improvements.
No. Okay. Just to check. And this is also in Odoo PIM, so it's integrated with the rest of the PIM suite, or is totally?
I try to refactor a bit the PIM base to avoid that when you install PIM, that pull everything.
Everything, yeah.
So I refactor a bit that part.
Okay.
I try to ask maintenance, but with no answer, so I did it. They are open. It is open to discussion if we want to change things.
Well, you should bug some of people that creation or Axon.
You're right.
Eh?
I
Now
will.
you are here. You can. Okay, thank you.
Any other question? Well, thank you very much.
Thank you.